in the Holy Tablets, page 517, Birth of Melchizedek, can you explain the connection of this story to Enki and Ningishzida? I do have the Holy Tablets here. Let me see if I can see what you're talking about. Page 517, you say, yeah? Okay, here we go. Okay, let's read it a little bit. The birth of Melchizedek. And Methuselah said to the people, here is near, also Num-num-near, okay? So Num-num-near is Enlil. Num-num-near, the vessel by which he was to be born on earth, being without earthly mother or father. 90, he will be in front of your face from the present day as the guide of the princes of the earth, the children of the Elohim, whom the chosen people of Israel shall worship. 91, and the people answered Methuselah, let it be so for us, and the word of Aliyun El, who is Anu, the Most High, be just as he said to you. While Methuselah was speaking to the people, his spirit was convulsed, and kneeling on his knees, he stretched out his hands to heaven, praying to Aliyun El, who is Anu, the Almighty Creator, and as he was, I'm just trying, okay. Anyway, to answer the question, it is quite straightforward. I'm not going to read the whole chapter, but I wanted to see what you were getting at. Just trying to read the question again. Okay, there you go. So can you explain the connection of this story to Enki and Ningishzida? All right, so Melchizedek is really the same word as Malachi Zodok, or Malachi Zedek, or Malachi Zodok. Malachi, as in part Nababian, or the being known as Malachi Z, the Zedek or Zodok is the Z, Malachi Z York. Okay, the Malachi, depending on which language you're translating it from, is my angel, which becomes Mikael in Arabic here, or Marduk in ancient Sumer or Sumerian. And he is referred to or known as, and the Zedek or the Zodok means justice. So literally the translation of the word Malachi Zodok is the angel of justice. But in Arabic, as in Mikael, is dealing with who dares to be like El, because Malachi or Melchizedek, the archangel Michael, he is the warring angel, right? He's the defender of truth. Okay, so when you're saying the connection between that Enki and Ningishzida, it's because remember that the two sons of Enki and Enlil, or Anu, they're Anu's two sons, right? That's what we were just reading in that chapter. And Enki was the one that Melchizedek, Enki, even though he was the son of Anu, and so was Enlil, Marduk, who is his grandson, came through Enki, you see. So because the two brothers, Enki and Enlil, were at war, and one was to agreeable and one was too disagreeable, or one was passive and one was aggressive, Anu decided to choose Murdoch as the being to give and empower and give him a weapon to fight and deal with both agreeable and disagreeable. There is a recording on YouTube with Malachi Zodok explaining that even though he was once a disagreeable, he was reprogrammed or recalibrated to do the will of Anu as opposed to being rebellious. But because he was once, remember that they tell you the whole story of how he had to go through the underworld, and they literally transformed him to have both natures, and that he was then being sent to come here in this day and time and break the seventh seal from 1970, and to bring about, when I say break the seventh seal, a lot of the knowledge was locked away until the appropriate time. And that's when the seventh seal was broken, to bring about this new cycle from the year 2000. So that first half hour from 1970 to the year 2000, Malachi York Zodok was breaking down the information and pouring into the world the pamphlets of truth, the true light. And basically he was able to do this because he now had the nature of agreeable and disagreeable, and to get us, because he was really sent to the Nagaru, right? But obviously for the whole world, for those who accept and choose to transform and, you know, change themselves. And he has that formula where you are 180 degrees disagreeable, or 180 agreeable together, making you 360 degrees. This is what we were talking about at the beginning. As an angel, you've got to either conquer one of the other sides of yourself, of your nature. So if you're doing disagreeable things and leaning to a disagreeable nature, because we all have that within us, as we are tied in our evolution to the reptilians too. We are part reptilian. That's why we live in water when we're in the sac in our mother's wombs. We can breathe in water. We have gills, and we live in water for 9 months before, and we go through the process of, you know, even being a grey, having big heads and big eyes, and we live in water as, you know, as a reptile or a reptilian. And then when the waters break, we come out, and then we become, you know, we become more in tune with the mammalian side, becoming mammals, and we're amphibian because we were in water and we're still in water. It's just that people don't realize that you constantly need water to hydrate yourself, right? So you need to have a shower or a bath every day, or as regularly as possible, or your skin will dry and go ashy. We need to drink water to stay, you know, hydrated. We're breathing water because the air we breathe is water. It's just a lighter form of water, right? So we are still tied to that nature. We have a reptilian brain. So the reptilian side of our nature, the beings that are here on the planet that are reptilians, that have an agenda, they appeal to your negative, disagreeable nature by way of the foods you eat, by way of the commercials and the advertising and the media that you are pushed constantly to feed those disagreeable side, even if you don't know it. Like you're doing and putting things into your body that are not really designed to help your nature, the agreeable nature, which is the Natharu, or the agreeable beings that you're part of in terms of the evolution in your genes, right? So when you say Ningishzida now, Ningishzida is one of those parts of the beings that make up Malachi, because he is a three-part being, right? And the reason for these beings within him is to relay information. And in addition to that, over the years in the mission of bringing truth, because once he arrives as the Son of Righteousness, as I said, read Malachi chapter 4 verse 2, which is the last book in the Old Testament. And then the book of Revelations, which is the last book in the New Testament, talks about the angel coming, that, because the book of Revelations is the book that Jesus, that's his book, but it was given to, what's his name? John was looking at it and deciphering it, but it tells you, read it, chapter 1, it talks about it was signified and given to the angel. That angel is Malachi. That's why I said to you the word Malachi is my angel. And he's here to fulfill and bring about this new change. So that's the relationship between Melchizedek or Melchizedek and Enki and Ningishzida. All right, so the three parts are Malachi, Ningishzida, and of course yaa-nun. All right, I hope that gives you the answer for that question.